the rare first 12 Avon books. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and this time we're going to take a look at the first Avon books that came out in 1941. At that time, a little before that, in 1939 and 40, pocketbooks started, and in episode 100 we did a look at the first rare 10 pocketbooks. And then a year or two later, in 1941, Avon books came out, and they began their series of books. And the first 12 came out in 1941, and they had the very classic Globe end papers. And then they did 4 more in the series, number 16. So the first 16 books have Globe end papers, and I'm going to show you what they are. They had these really attractive end papers on the front and back of the book. So this is the first Avon book, Elmer Gantry, and the Globe end papers had the globe and some really very nice drawing artwork. Before you have it goes to the title page of the book, and they were also in the back. Now, this is how you can tell that of the first 16 Avon books, that they are first printings. They also had a list on the back of each of the books, starting with number 1, Elmer Gantry. The books were not numbered until later on when they were reprinted, but the first 12 are listed here, and they were all published as a lot in 1941, and then 4 more were published in 1942. And you can see on here is one of the original ads in the back of the books, with showing the first 14 of the Avon books. And they were 25 cents each. And so Avon books published, there are no numbers here. There's books number up to number 41 were not numbered. That was up to 1944. And then after that they were numbered, and when they were reprinted they were also numbered. The only first 16 books have Globe end papers. And the first 12, which I'm going to show you now, are the ones that, first 12 were the ones that were released in 1941 at the same time. And so the first one we have is, again, Sinclair Lewis's Elmer Gantry. Number 2 is the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. And number 3 is the Big Four, Hercule Poirot Mystery by Agatha Christie. Number 4 is Ill Wind by James Hilton. And the back covers all have the same back cover, with the list of the 12 original first titles and the back cover. So Ill Wind is 4. Number 5 is Dr. Priestley Investigates by John Rhodey, classic mystery crime. And number 6 is the Avon Anthology of Great Ghost Stories, The Haunted Hotel by Wilkie Collins and 25 others. This is a very scarce, very collectible book in nice condition. Again, it has Globe end papers, as all of these do, and it has there's various versions of this, various reprintings of it. It was very popular. This is the first printing, and it's a collection of really classic horror ghost stories, and it's very delicate. I'm trying not to, these books are very fragile, but it lists all the stories and the authors that are in this volume. And it starts off with, it has Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat, Guy de Maupassant, and many other classic authors and as the opening story is actually The Haunted Hotel by Wilkie Collins. So this is, again, the back cover is the same as all the other ones, and they all have the globe end papers in the front and the back. It's a very scarce volume, very desirable volume in nice condition. That was number 6. Number 7 is The Plague Court Murders by John Carter Dixon, or John Dixon Carr. Number 8 is The Corpse in the Green Pajamas by R.A.J. Walling, and that was a Mr. Telfer mystery. Number 9 is Willful and Premeditated by Freeman Wills Crofts, an Inspector French mystery. And just to show you the spines on some of these, just the spines, what they look like. That was at Avon Books, and they had the Avon head of Shakespeare for their logo at that time, and they had different variations of it. Number 10 is Dr. Thorndyke's Discovery by R. Austin Freeman, the Dr. Thorndyke mystery. Number 11 is Count Brugge by Ben Hecht, full of murders, seductions, magicians, poets, fair ladies, and a grand passion. Avon Books. And here you have an Avon pocket-sized book. And at this time in 1941, this is where Avon and Pocket Books had a lawsuit going, because Pocket Books said that the Avon, by using the Avon pocket-sized book description of their books, infringed on the copyright of Pocket Books. So because the names were kind of very similar, and eventually they worked out an arrangement, and that was taken care of. But there was a court case, and because of that, one of the next to the Haunted Hotel, one of the other more expensive in the series is Mosquitoes by William Faulkner. That's the 12th book in the series. These Avon books are very scarce. If you see a book with Avon book early on with globe end papers, it's a good book to purchase or to add to your collection. These are pretty scarce because I think that when they came out in 1941, we were going into just beginning World War II at the end of that year. They had already come out before then, and then in 1942 we were fully involved in World War II, which included the paper drives of the war, where newspapers, magazines, books, paperback books were donated to make more paper and to for the paper drives, and it was a patriotic thing. So people donated to the paper drives, and they would buy these books for a quarter, or magazines and newspapers and everything, and then they would go to the paper drives. So what happened, and pulp magazines also. And so what happened is a lot of the books and magazines and things that were published from, say, like 1939, 40, 41, and 42, in that time period, a lot of those went to the paper drives and they were destroyed. And that's why you don't see a lot of this kind of material from 1939, 40, and 41. But these are very important books. They're very historical in paperback publishing. These are the first 12 that Avon published, and the first 12 of the 16 with globe end papers that came out in 1941. And they're very collectible, very desirable, and very historical. And so I hope you enjoy this look at these rare paperbacks and from Avon Books. And if you did, give us a thumbs up and a like, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for looking.